Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thanks for being with us here with CHC and ReClaim. We're here to share some exciting news and to hopefully have you become interested in being engaged in our news with us. So I'm going to share my screen here. We are embarking on a super important milestone, which is our actual 20th year as a 501c3 organization. And you may not know, but in those years, we've served over 1,000 Madison County residents in need of urgent home repairs or rehabilitation. And that's been at no cost to them. But what we're going to do today is focus on the future, and it's the future for our organization, but it's the future of our county and the residents in it. So I'm going to quickly share a little video with you. Let's see quickly. And
known for its spectacular beauty, strong tradition, and powerful sense of community, Madison County is proudly called home by more than 20,000 residents. If you're just passing through, or even if you've lived here a while, you may not know that 25% of Madison County residents live in substandard housing, presenting dangers to their health and safety. For more than 20 years, Community Housing Coalition has served our neighbors, providing urgent home repairs for more than 1,000 low-income residents at no cost. About 2/3 of our clients are seniors, 1/3 of whom have disabilities. Others are single parents, guardians of grandchildren, or veterans. All live below 80% of average median income for our area. ReClaim Madison, our salvage and thrift store, serves the community with access to low-cost building materials, used furniture and appliances, keeping dollars in our local economy, waste out of the landfill, and engaging the community, reducing the isolation experienced by many we serve. Now is the time for a permanent home for CHC and ReClaim under one roof, a home for housing. In support of our long-held mission to facilitate healthy, safe, and affordable housing, our intended building purchase will enable expanded services, greater access to those services, more cost-efficient operations, and the potential for new construction of affordable housing units. In order to turn this opportunity into the much-needed resource it can be, we need generous financial investment by the community, individuals, local businesses, and civic organizations who care about the future of Madison County and its residents. Please consider the lasting impact your support for this permanent home for housing will create as we work together to strengthen the fabric of our community, your community. Thank you.
This really is a great time for us to be moving our operations and our retail store into one home. And this is going to enable us to expand the programs that we already have underway. It's going to provide greater ease of access to our services. We'll be right up by Highway 2570, and I'll tell you how that is in just a moment. And it's also going to create a significant reduction in our annual operating expenses because we've been paying rent for both the offices on Main Street for CHC and the old coal and feed warehouse for ReClaim Madison. And those combined over several years can be more efficiently spent as loan pay down on a new building. So if you don't know what building we're talking about, CHC is in due diligence and under contract to purchase the building that has formerly the home of the Cinco de Mayo restaurant, which is either closed or closing very shortly. And this building is going to be a great opportunity for us to have a solid, well-built building on a 50-acre parking lot space with additional acreage behind it that will allow us opportunity to perhaps do some affordable housing units or to be used as an asset. it is underway in terms of how we would like to turn that building into a combination location for us. We've got design underway. Chris has been working on those with the architect and the builders. And with that, I am going to turn it over to Chris Watson, who's our program director at CHC.
Thanks, Kathy. I want to talk a little bit about the programmatic need for this new building. Community Housing Coalition is the only agency in Madison County working on housing issues, especially for the lowest income folks. And we're also one of the few counties that has an agency like this. It's pretty unique. Obviously, we've been doing this, as Kathy said, for over 20 years. We have well-established programs. But the need is continuing to grow. And so we're working hard to expand those existing programs and implement some new solutions to the housing crisis. Go ahead to the next slide, Kathy. Some of those opportunities are expanding our existing programs, our urgent repair, our essential single family. But then we've also got some new opportunities, Healthy Opportunities Pilot. CHC's been selected to participate in that program, which will allow us to accept Medicaid for housing rehab to address the root cause of medical issues such as asthma and accessibility and other respiratory issues. And we were chosen because of our long track record of successful housing rehab and repairs here in the county. And then we also completed our affordable housing pilot program project last year and have been fully funded to launch that program basically in late spring of 2022. So after we move into the new building, we'll begin doing a housing replacement program. And that will be a stepping stone towards creating new affordable housing for our clients and the public here in Madison County. All that being said is we want to expand, but we're physically out of space here in our offices. We're renting space in downtown Marshall physically so that we can grow our staff and grow our program offerings. We've had folks ask about affordable housing and what we mean when we say affordable housing. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot and has a lot of different meanings behind it. For us, it's working to provide housing that's affordable for anyone in our community, and especially our lowest income clients. So we're looking at bringing in resources and housing products that currently aren't available in our region, looking at innovative new ways such as on-site housing built that's designed by Auburn University's Rural Studios, who's spent 30 years trying to find ways to build affordable replacement housing in poor rural counties. And then looking at products such as the Zero Energy Modular Affordable Housing Initiative that is been developed up in the Vermont and Massachusetts area. And then we also work to just bring new resources such as Givens communities. You may have read about them in the paper last week, where CHC is facilitating a conversation between Givens and the county to develop multifamily senior affordable housing. So we're looking at it a lot of different ways, but really trying to address affordable housing for those folks that are most at risk and most vulnerable in our community.
Thanks, Chris. I'd like to take a moment and introduce Ann Harold, who is the owner of French Broad Real Estate. She has been, along with her business, a longtime supporter of Community Housing Coalition through her work with the community, and most recently by creatively supporting this capital campaign by holding a yard sale and matching all of the proceeds from the sellers. And I just wanted her to share a few words about her experience working with our organization and with the community.
Thank you, Kathy. You know, affordable housing is something that is, I hear a lot about being a real estate broker and owning a firm. I see a lot of stats on this nationally and locally. So it's a passion that I have to be engaged in housing that supports people who are, for whatever reason, less fortunate than many of us are, that have our housing needs taken care of. As a business owner, and because I'm a real estate company, CHC is a natural fit for my business donations or trying to garner support within the community through my contacts. And I'm very excited about the capital campaign and the building that's under contract. I see that this is going to be an opportunity for CHC to relocate, reclaim Madison and have decent parking where people can, you know, bring their donations and have room to park, unload, and their offices located in the same spot. I didn't realize that there was land that went behind this building. So the potential for what that might be used for sounds exciting as a, you know, possible affordable housing model, let's say, who knows. You know, I think a lot about affordable housing communities in Madison County in different contexts. And it's nice to know that there is an organization with the history of CHC, with the longstanding, you know, 20 years of service within the community and how many people it's reached. It's a no-brainer to be involved in try and garner support and money for the capital campaign. I think that there's money in the community. I think the video that Kathy put together, that the people at CHC put together, can be utilized to hopefully bring in more money, donations. And Kathy, it sounds like you're 37% there for your overall goal. And that's encouraging. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but you know, that's a good start. And I look forward to hopefully continuing to be involved with CHC. The yard sale was something I've wanted to do a long time. I'd like to do it annually. We had a lot of junk we were selling, and that's okay. That's all right. I actually sold 2 houses, and the people that were moving just like donated a bunch of stuff. And that's great, because, you know, that may be how we get a lot of donations, but I also would like to have more community support, and we can get started a little earlier next year and have more planning and do it in October rather than November. We were, I think we were lucky that we had such beautiful weather when we could have had snow. So, you know, I'm learning as I go with this, but I see French Broad Real Estate Company myself being a future partner with Community Housing Coalition, and hoping to talk about Community Housing Coalition to people who choose to move into the county. You know, we have a lot of money here in the county, people who have decided to live here for whatever reason, and they just need to know that this organization exists and what it's about. People want to help. People want to be a part of a solution. I've had the opportunity to be back in some of these hollows and see how, you know, people live and they need help. So it is an opportunity, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I hope I touched all the bases you wanted me to, Kathy.
Yes, thank you so much, Ann. And Ann's on her way to the airport, I think, to pick up her brother. So I really appreciate you fitting us in this morning, and for being such a fantastic supporter and friend of our organization. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
So as Ann was talking about investing in Madison County, this whole project that we're have embarked on is really to invest in the future of our community. So the building and land purchase is to be funded by committed and pending grants that we have in process. Paul Moon, who's on the call with us, has been helpful in getting some of those underway and out the door. We have pre-approved financing. We have cash on hand for a component of it. And then we're looking for public contributions for the rest of it. And that primarily is for the actual renovation of this building so that it can become a place that can accommodate both a retail store and operations offices. The property timeline looks sort of like this. We'll close and take possession of the building around the middle of January. Between then and close to the end of March, renovations will be taking place. By the way, we will be using local contractors and our network of local volunteers as much as possible to try to minimize those costs where appropriate. Then the week of March 24th through the 31st, we should be hopefully moving our offices and all the retail inventory into the new space so that we can celebrate a grand opening on April 1st. So that's going to be a big date for us in conjunction with other 20th anniversary activities that will be kicking off in January, actually. So here's what this capital campaign is really asking for. We have a goal of $100,000 in public support from individual contributions, local businesses, organizations. I would like to say that our board is fully invested in this campaign. As I said earlier at the beginning, we're 37% of the way there, which is fantastic. That means we're more than a third there, so we can do it. We just need everybody's help. So we'd really love it for everyone to make their own generous investment in the future of Madison County, because this really impacts not just those people for whom repairs are done or a home is replaced, but it really strengthens the resilience of the whole county. When we're all safe and healthy in our homes, we have a better chance at good physical and mental health, all of which bodes well for a brighter future. Chris Watson, Susan Sewell, and I are all teamed up to be able to support any assistance that you need in terms of garnering financial support from friends and associates, or to provide additional information to any of you that may want more information so that you can make a decision about what kind of investment you'd like to make. So this information will be available on the website. It's, I think you could call our office and find one of us pretty much at any time, or use these phone numbers. This is someone near and dear to our hearts. So I think what I'll do now is open it up to questions, and I'll unshare my screen, and what we'll do is we'll use chat and we'll use people raising hands to ask questions. And Chris and I'll do our best to answer them. I have a few questions that people have already asked me that I will bring up as well if we have time. So let's go in here. Okay, hi Boone. We've never met, but I see him.
Good to see you, Boone.
So are there any questions anyone would like to ask about the campaign, or what it means, or exactly really more about why we're doing it?
I just have a question. Are you looking for us to, well, not only make a donation, but enlist people that we know? Yes,
that would be lovely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We consider people like you a stakeholder in the community. Dagmar, you know, you've been a supporter forever, and you probably know people that maybe I don't know, or maybe Susan doesn't know. So anything we can do to help you help them would be great.
Well, what I can do is, I mean, I'm pretty involved in the fiber community, and I know a number of people, and so I would be willing to send out a letter to, you know, my folks and ask them to donate.
So it would be helpful maybe if we provided you with content for that you can then make your own. Okay, we can do that. We can do that in the next day, in the next 24 hours. Okay. And we can do that for anyone, frankly. So that's great, Dagmar. Thank you. Great idea. We did have a question that came in about affordable housing on the property behind the building. The question was, is that for sure what's going to happen, or how are you looking at that property? Chris, and I know you've had some good conversations around that with others.
Yeah, we've done some initial evaluations of that property. It's not accessible from the Cinco de Mayo parking lot side. There's a couple of different accesses. One's off Mado Road, one's off 2570. And it's not an easy and straightforward site to develop, but there is a potential of putting 8 to 10 housing units up there on the 3 acres. And there is sewer and water available close by, but we're really trying to work through the details of that, and it would require a good bit of coordination with neighboring properties, as well as the town of Marshall. And that's something that I think immediately won't be developed, but we'll look kind of long term down the road and see what the potential there is. Does that answer the question? Does anyone have any more? We don't have a lot of details on it other than that, yeah, the development of that would be a little bit challenging, as is the development of most properties here in Madison County because of the topography. But we do think there's a potential to fit 8 to 10 housing units up there.
How many acres is that?
It's about 3 acres.
That's plus the 2 that the building is on, Grattan.
Okay.
How do you define affordable housing? What is your idea of affordable housing? I know that there are some homes being built across from the dump in Mars Hill that are supposed to be affordable housing, but it's my understanding that they're going for like over $300,000. And to me, that's not really affordable for a lot of our residents. So what is your figure? What do you consider affordable housing?
Well, that's a great question, Dagmar, and you just brought up a lot around that development in Mars Hill, there's a lot of different ways to define affordable housing. A lot of folks, and including housing and urban development, say that you shouldn't spend more than 30% of your income, your gross income, on your housing costs. And so when they look at housing, they look at the area median income for somewhere like Madison County or Asheville, and say, well, what would 30% of that be? And that could, and kind of work backwards from there. But that doesn't work it certainly doesn't work for CHC clients. Our clientele are considered low or very low income, and in some cases extremely low income. And if you're a single person who's living on Social Security, and you try to take away 30% of $780 a month, you're not going to have money for food. And so we're looking for solutions that fit our clients' needs, and ways that we can provide housing that they can afford, regardless of what their income is, and doing that through private and public partnerships, and bringing innovative and creative solutions to the housing. So maybe affordable housing isn't a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, but a smaller 1-bedroom, efficiently built and efficiently maintained unit that meets the needs of a single elderly person or a disabled person. But it is a challenge to do that. One of the biggest costs up front with our topography is site development, because it tends to be hilly and rocky and a little more challenging to build on. So how do we develop sites that keep costs down and develop building products that are affordable, and then financing mechanisms that allow people to participate in those programs without trying to make a decision of, do I pay my housing and heating costs or do I buy food and medicine? Because that's not a choice we want people to have to make. So what we're doing is a little outside of the mainstream box, and that's why we're looking at models well outside of our region, working with Auburn Rural Studios, working with folks in Massachusetts and Vermont, and looking at different financing mechanisms on how to do that. But it's a good question. It's something that comes up a lot, I think. A lot of people often feel burned by what they think is going to be affordable housing, and then realizing, like, well, our teachers and our government employees and our nonprofit employees can't afford to purchase these homes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, one of the things that came up earlier was with regards to the healthy opportunities, and what that might mean in terms of impact to our need for space and how our operations function from a new functionality standpoint. Can you talk about that?
Sure, and I'll just give a quick background of the Healthy Opportunities pilot. It's a program. Healthy Opportunities is a program through North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, and they're running 3 pilots in the state. 2 are on the eastern side, and then 1 is in the I believe the entire 15-county region served by Dogwood Health Trust, who was the original applicant for this pilot. And it's all very new. The idea, an example would be if you have a child who has asthma and is on Medicaid and has to go to the emergency room 2 or 3 times a week because of attacks, and the doctors, they're giving them a nebulizer or inhaler to treat those asthma attacks. That doctor could then say, well, there's something causing this, and here's a prescription to get your house evaluated and repaired. CHC would then go out, look at the home, and say, well, there's old carpet, there's mold and mildew issues. Let's remove that carpet and put in a solid surface like a laminate flooring. Let's put a vapor barrier to reduce moisture. Let's abate the mold, and then that would be billed to Medicaid, and Medicaid would pay for that. And it's a really neat program because, one, you're addressing the root cause of what's causing the asthma, and so you're improving the homeowners or the residents' health, both in the short term and the long term. And then it makes huge sense financially because spending a few $1,000s repairing a home, it's easy to make up that cost when you're talking about multiple emergency room trips. And so it actually saves a lot of money in Medicaid expenses in the long term. We don't know exactly how that's going to affect us. They've told us to estimate up to 20% increase in kind of our workload. And so we're looking at, if we were to just increase our work by 20%, that would be, an additional staff member, maybe a staff member and a half, as well as some additional training that would be needed and equipment that we may need to purchase. So it would have a pretty big impact on us, both in terms of being able to bring more resources to the community and help people's health, but also in expanding our capacity and our need to be able to deploy that program in the county.
Are there any other questions? Any questions? We're putting together a live face-to-face gathering. It looks like it's probably going to be December the 14th. And the location is going to be one of two places. I'm going to get that finalized today. But that would be on a Tuesday morning. And if any of you would like to come and bring others with you, that would be a great opportunity to be able to, you know, kind of mingle as well as hear sort of the guts of what's happening, and then also be able to ask questions and learn a little more. And we'll be reaching out beyond the audience that we've reached out so far to invite people to come to that. So this is not the only time we're talking about it. I'm talking about it in my sleep, I think, but we're all kind of building into everything that we do right now, and appreciate all of your support. Any other questions?
No, I don't have a question, but I would just like to make a comment. And that is, when I joined CHC, when I joined the board, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, we were operating like on a shoestring budget. You know, we were like wondering whether or not we were going to make it from one month to the next. And to see this organization take such strides and do so well and serve the community in so many ways is just really heartwarming. And I'm really glad that, you know, you guys are doing such a great job.
Thank you, Dagmar. It's really exciting for us too.
Yeah,
Very
it
exciting
really
for us.
makes me choke up, because it's such a good thing that you all are doing, really.
Thank you for saying that, Dagmar. We have a fabulous staff, as everyone knows, that had anything to do with them, and we're very fortunate to have backing of people like Ann Harold and all the others in the community that have done so much for us, and we're really blessed.
Yeah,
Really are. Dagmar, since you were on the board, I can tell you this too. We are going to be putting together a former board member reunion at the very beginning of January, and we'll probably do it on Zoom and try to make it some kind of a party so that we can pull as many of you people who were really fundamental to us being where we are today. So look for news on that.
Well, unfortunately, my husband and I, we're going to be gone most of January. So I'm probably going to wind up missing that, unless it's like on the 3rd, where it's really, really early. Other than that, we'll be away all month, but you know, it is what it is. I would love to, you know, be there, but, you know, can't be everywhere.
You certainly can't. All right. Hi, Tom. See Tom Panic has joined. Okay. Well, I think unless someone has other questions, I think we'll wrap it up. And I thank all of you for being here. This is, as I said, this is recorded. We'll make it available as soon as I get it from the cloud. And we'll keep putting information out about other opportunities to hear about it, learn about it, and keep our community apprised of this really exciting milestone that we're in the middle of. So hi, Susan. Hi, Tom. Thank you for joining us. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.